Good morning, and it is time for the IVNV question of the day. I'm one of the hosts of IVNV. My name is Corey, and we have a new episode of the podcast out for you this morning. It is the first episode in our 11th season. We started podcasting on the Cubs in 2009, so we have covered the Cubs for an entire decade now. You can find it in all of the places that you listen to podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the different apps that are out there. You can also listen in the free IVNV iOS and Android app. So we covered a lot of topics in this week's episode. We talked about the Addison Russell, Theo Epstein, and Joe Madden press conferences. We talked about the Cubs' new TV deal. We talked about the health of the team heading into spring training. And we talked about one of the new bullpen pitchers, Xavier Cedeno, and how his presence could impact the Cubs pitching staff, specifically Tyler Chatwood. Obviously, Tyler Chatwood did not perform like the Cubs expected when they signed him in this last offseason. I think Chatwood is probably one of the biggest question marks heading into spring training. Can he be the back end of the rotation guy that the Cubs thought they were getting when they signed him? If he has a rough spring and does not show that he's figured out his control problems, the Cubs are in a really tough spot. Mike Montgomery will probably fill that sixth starter role or whatever you want to call that. The Cubs have a lot of bullpen options. So if Chatwood is not pitching well, you don't really want him taking up one of those valuable roster spots. He can't really be sent to AAA Iowa without agreeing to that move. And so the Cubs could be forced to eat Chatwood's contract and release him. So my question to you is, what do you expect to see from Tyler Chatwood this spring? We'd all like to see him pitch up to his expectations, but what do you think we will see from him this spring? And ultimately, what do you think the Cubs do with him? You can leave your comments below. Don't forget to listen to the first episode of our 11th season of the podcast and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. I'll be back tomorrow with another question of the day. And until then, go Cubs.